It's a new year. It's time for a new episode. Welcome to 2024. Welcome back to the ASUN Gameday Podcast. William Hall Kendrell Watkins in ASUN HQ. Just the two of us right now. Hold it down. How you
Holding
feeling?
it down, man. I feel good. Sorry, I just ran into that, man. It's been it's been crazy. Just because it's a new year.
We need the energy.
It's 2024. I'm just coming back from a vacation, so
How was
I'm
that?
happy. Oh, the vacation was awesome.
I mean, we need a little bit. You don't have to give us all the deets, but we need,
Oh man, the vacation was awesome. Like, I'm just coming in here just running like 1,000 miles an hour because, got a quick break, and now I'm ready for the spring semester, ready for crossover season, ready for everything. But got a chance to leave the country, got a chance to go to Grenada, got a chance to go to St. Lucia also. So I did a week. That's what I did for Christmas. It was pretty awesome. The one thing that I find very funny, though, is that they will give anybody a car. It's just crazy because just being in a different country, some of the stop signs look different. Some of the rules look different. And then they say drive on the other side of the road. Yeah. It takes a while. Because there's been some times I was just looking the wrong way, getting ready to go out in traffic. Yeah. And then you just get that honk. And when we're in Grenada, like Grenada's just on this big mountain. And the roads are like this. Mm-hmm. And I wasn't coming off that road. So I was like all in the other lane just.
Because you wasn't.
I wasn't coming off that road.
You weren't going down and down. Okay.
Yeah, it was other lane, cliff. Guess where I was? Other lane.
Other lane. Hey, when you get options like that, you gotta.
I'm like, look,
you gotta pick right.
Head on. We will battle to the death. I'm like, I'm not going off.
So you just out of the country playing chicken.
Yeah, I was like, I was not going off that cliff, by no means.
Hey, that's fair enough. Well, we glad you survived, or that they survived you. It might be what we need to say because you sound he was going and you wasn't. You had your spot. You standing on business when it comes to not go out the side of this road.
Definitely. How was your Christmas?
I mean, I didn't do anything that exciting. I was just I was laying low. I was trying to recharge, refuel, re-energize, get ready for the new year. I knew it was coming, and obviously, with it comes all the sports starting, which is exciting. We got championship season around the corner. What's exciting and conference play is tomorrow. Now, this podcast may be released on the day, so it may be later on today. But as of recording, it's tomorrow. Our men's and women's basketball teams, they kept going. We know what they did over the holidays. They picked up some wins, kept things going, and now it's time. Now is when the games really, really mean something. Conference play is exciting times right now. So. Let's just jump right into it.
Let's go.
Our ASUN analysis. Just recent, I guess. I mean, we haven't.
We're back.
We didn't go anywhere, though.
We didn't go anywhere, but we're back.
But we back at the same time. That's fair enough. Fair enough. So, just starting out, some things that stood out. Obviously, recent. It's been a while since we've talked to you. A lot of things have happened with wins, teams moving and shaking in our unofficial standings. That is, picking up wins, winning streaks. But Queens,
okay, winning
against Gardner. Well, I'm starting with Queens.
Okay, let's go.
Let's go. We know where we're getting to. I think everybody knows where we're going, but it's about the journey to the destination.
There we go. Let me get in my notes.
Yeah, I'm starting with Queens. Defeating Gardner Webb. Just overall, how you feeling about Queens? I mean, Jordan Weaver, kind of the first player to win Player of the Week in their Division I era, which just started last year, but. You got to take it when you can get it. First is first. So, impressive. Career high 24 points, 11 rebounds, and that win against Gardner Webb. How you feeling about Queens?
I can tell you right now, just from Queens, since we're talking about Jordan Weaver, we're talking about, some of their their newcomers like Nikki Gwynn, or like right now just averaging about 17 points a game. Like, I'm really excited for what they're doing. Just because they're coming in, they're 6-7 coming into conference play. Mm-hmm. I know right now they were predicted to finish 12th in both the media poll as well as the coaches poll. That's not going to happen this year. That's not what's going to happen. Like, just from some of the games that we've been watching, like, I wouldn't even say it's an upset. I just feel like some things are going to happen. And there's a couple of teams, like when I was going through, my top list, I was like, man, this is going to be an interesting year.
It is. I mean, and it's obviously a certain amount of teams when a team rises, somebody's going, but it's good to see Queens right now where they are, knowing where I guess they finished last year, 3 wins, 8-21. So, you look at the preseason polls, they put them where they were voted where they were. It made sense, but it's good to see them. I mean, you coming in now, they're in the mix. They're in the middle of the pack. They're not, like you said, they're not going to end up in 12th like people were thinking. Speaking of a team that's on top on the women's side right now, EKU got its 11th win of the season, 7th in a row at home last Friday against Sanford. FGCU also reached a double-digit wins for non-conference. They've got 10 wins, I believe, right now. In your opinion, I know we'll probably get into power rankings and where we're feeling like teams. Power rankings are like a "what have you done for me lately" thing. But looking at that, is it a 2-team race in women's basketball in your opinion right now? I mean, it's conference play starts tomorrow. Everything could change tomorrow. Seeing teams actually play each other, but right now, is it a 2-team race in your mind, or is it a little bit more wide open than that, or is it one? And I'm just being disrespectful, and it's definitely EKU.
Man, right now I have to go with, like I said, like we'll get into it. But it's FGCU.
Okay.
To otherwise,
right.
But with that being said, EKU has looked really impressive. I know even coming into this season, I was like, watch out for Lipscomb. I'm still on the Lipscomb hype train. I'm still on the Lipscomb bandwagon. Mm-hmm. So I am very interested to see what happens. And we're going to get a clash. Very first game of the conference play. So I'm very excited about that. I will definitely be watching that game when EKU plays Lipscomb, because it's going to, I don't want to say it's going to answer a lot of questions for me, because there's a lot of questions to be answered and a lot of questions to be asked.
Hold that thought.
So
EKU Lipscomb EKU. That's interesting where we're going. On both sides of the plane. But I will say, Antoinette Walker over 20 points a game. You got to slow her down.
You got to slow her down. Yes, you do have to slow her down. You don't think that's enough?
You don't think that's enough?
No. That's the thing. See, that's the crazy thing. Like Antoinette Walker, you definitely have to slow her down. You have Ivy Turner there that's now balling. Mm-hmm. You have Elise Recanati still there balling. And then another person that I've watched a couple of games. I'm real big on Sierra McCullough. She just gets in there and wreaks havoc.
Yeah. Oh, yes.
So I like I said, I'm like, I don't know, because I was at Lipscomb, like when I came in, I was like, all right, Lipscomb, if it were a 2-team race, or it could be a 2-team race, like Lipscomb and FGCU would be my picks, because, EKU lost a lot, or they lost a couple of people just coming in from the starting lineup. And now I'm like, okay, Ivy Turner, Sierra McCullough, wait, hold on, I may have. Let me watch the season.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So those are just a couple of things on the women's side. So on to the men. You mentioned Lipscomb ended their conference play with a big win on the road against Florida State.
Yes.
Where do you? We'll get to the deeper, but what?
Okay, slow me down.
Where do you? I mean, Lipscomb. What do you when you think of Lipscomb men's basketball right now today on January 3rd? What do you think?
Lipscomb is going to be a problem this year. The reason why I feel Lipscomb is going to be a problem is just because they have a lot of freshmen coming off the bench. Freshmen have been balling coming off the bench, because as of right now, Jo hasn't played. Jacob, he has not played. Mm-hmm. Darren Boyd went down with an injury. And then going into that FSU game, I was like, okay, well, they're missing, there, because Darren Boyd's been averaging, like 17 points a game this year? So I'm just like, okay, But then Will Pruitt.
Well, that's what I was about to say.
Will Pruitt. Will Pruitt. Respect that name.
Oh yeah, no doubt. Yeah, I wasn't surprised because I mean that's when I look at them, I'm like, it's one of those teams where they're doing what they're doing, and arguably their best player hasn't hit the floor, and they're already, they're right there record wise. They're at the top. There are 3 teams that have 9 wins right now coming into conference play, and one of the 3 has not had his best person on the floor. I would say. So you got Will Pruitt balling, and then you bring in a preseason All ASUN Jo. Like that's first team All Conference right there.
Like it was,
they problem. That's a good word.
It was bad. I was watching the game, and that game, like the score was close, and it was a scare at the end because there was a moment in which Lipscomb went scoreless. But that first half, Will Pruitt lived in the lane.
Yeah, it wasn't
like he put his couch like on the like right there in the paint. He put a picture up. Like you would think because FSU they're a big team. They were just getting buckets all in the paint. It was crazy. It was a 15-point game at the half, and I was like, wow, this is crazy. I thought there was just a lot of stuff going on at the end of the half. Like there was like a last second shot, and then there was another last second shot. I was like, I don't know what's going on. but yeah, they went down. I mean, they were up 15 at the half, and they hung on to eke out the win, but yeah, it was a very entertaining game. I very much enjoyed it, and Will Pruitt and even freshman Cody Head, first half 11 points. Like there was a point in which he hit like his first 4 shots, I believe. Like 11 points. He scored all his points in the first half. I was like, man, this is crazy. Like this dude's balling. Like they just stepped up in the absence of Darren Boyd, and when Jo comes back, like this. Questions will be answered.
Yeah. Questions will be answered. So, obviously, had Lipscomb with the big win on the road. Stetson had a big win against Charlotte over the weekend, but FGCU.
We back.
I saw the comments. This the return to Dunk City, and I was like, hey. I mean,
they didn't go nowhere. They didn't go anywhere.
Oh, they went somewhere. They were around the corner. They weren't far.
But we back.
But we back. That's fine. Upset number 7, FAU, Zach Anderson, Dalian Johnson, player, newcomer of the week, respectively.
Will Pruitt. What happened?
Whoa.
Will Pruitt was balling just in that game, but all right. I was like, man, I want to recount.
So you thought okay, so all right, so you're saying you think Will Pruitt should have gotten player of the week over Zach?
I'm just saying.
What are you saying?
If there was Coes, if there was a moment for Coes.
If there was a moment for Coes. I mean,
last year we got Happy.
Hey, amazing game. But
you ain't watch it. You ain't see what I saw. If you saw what I saw,
okay. So you're saying Will balling? I get it, but Zach was balling too.
Zach was balling.
Double.
Zach was balling.
He had the blocks. He had the steals. He had the boards.
Zach was
shot
balling.
better from the floor. Like that was a game. Like Zach was balling. Will and
Nah, I'm sorry. I now that I think about it, like I was watching the game. Yeah, there was a time in which, like, because they were up 9 at the half, FGCU when they were playing FAU. So they were up 9 at the half, and like they started battling. They got it back down. They got it to within 2. FGCU went on a 7-0 run, started by Zach Anderson, and then FAU still battling because they were ranked number 7 and they were like, yo, we got to turn it up.
Yeah, we got a number. Somebody gave us a number. We got to keep this number.
Yes. So they got it back down to 2 again.
Yeah.
Zach Anderson went on his own 6-2 run.
Yeah.
His own 6-2 run.
Like he was like, he had to go sit down because he was like, the man.
He started cramping. The
man balled out. His body was like, whoa, what are you doing? You taking me too fast.
He was like, I'm tired.
Yeah, he was like, that's it out. Hey, but that I think the thing that I saw was was one thing that I probably have not seen from them, FGCU, that is just that, like, they were going to win that game. And even as I'm watching it and was like, okay, you had a 7-point lead and the number 7 ranked team in the country has tied this game up. This is the script I've seen. They're probably going to pull it out. I'm watching and it's like, oh no, like you said, the Zach Anderson run, there's a three, and it's like they were determined, which, it just there's a lot of grit, a lot of determination. They were not going to lose that game Saturday night, and hey, good for them.
Yeah, and I can tell you, like, because the last time, were you there? The last time, because I believe it was for the volleyball championship, but they played them, I think it was back in 2019, and Warren for FGCU, he had like a last second shot to beat FAU then. And like, this wasn't really an upset. That's what I'm saying. Like, it was like they came in and they knew the assignment. So they came in and FAU knew. They were like, look, the last time we were on this floor, we took an L. And I can tell you, being from Florida, because me coming from Florida, I've driven up and down Alligator Alley a couple times because FAU and FGCU, they're really close. Sometimes your Wi-Fi drops, your internet signal drops. They had time to sit with that L the first time around because, it was probably night, so they, couldn't read on the bus. Like, you had to sit with that L. So coming back in, they were like, look, we're playing this team. We play this team like probably every year or something like that. We have to get up for this team because we're going to be going back with an L. Alligator Alley, going back with another L. So, yeah, it's... So,
who did not go home with an L after that game? Pat Chambers, head coach of FGCU men's basketball. So I took a couple minutes, sat down, chatted with Pat about that game, the non-conference, and getting ready for league play. So right now we're going to jump into that talk I had with head coach Pat Chambers. William Hall with the ASUN Gameday Podcast, here with Pat Chambers, head coach of FGCU men's basketball. Coach, Happy New Year. How you doing?
Happy New Year. Thanks for having me on. I'm doing great.
No problem. Obviously, we starting off with probably arguably the biggest win in college basketball last weekend, just knocking off FAU. Talk to me about, that game was close there at the end, just that mindset when it was tied at 68, you knew you needed a bucket and stops. Just talk to me over that last minute and change of that game, but what you were telling your guys is trying to close out and get that big victory.
I really think it really started at Indiana, right? Our non-conference schedule is 55th in the country as far as strength of schedule. And I think we were just battle tested and we failed, right? We have 9 losses. So we didn't get it done in a lot of those close games that we were in Virgin Islands. We didn't get a win down there, and we were in some close games in the second half. And couldn't seem to finish and finish on the defensive end, finish on the offensive end. And that's all I kept telling them, like, guys, we've been here. We've been through the ups and downs, and let's just go out and execute defensively. Let's execute offensively, and let's just do it together. And whatever shot we get, commit to that shot and shoot it with confidence. And you saw Zach Anderson do that prior possessions. And then coming out of that timeout, you saw Dalian Johnson do it at the end there. And then we got some big stops and a couple big rebounds. And we weren't doing that. Our defense wasn't great this non-conference slate. So a lot of room for growth. And I was really excited. We got over that proverbial hump of, I think FAU thought we were going to fold, because they had witnessed that all year, all non-con. And, it was nice to see us really just stick together, hold the line, and and finish that game out.
Yep. It was great to see it, and obviously big play from Zach and Dallin, as you mentioned, our player and newcomer of the week. So well-deserved honors. Talk to me about how important of that win was at that moment and heading into conference play. How you can carry that momentum on.
It's belief. Again, not to go over the entire non-conference, but it's belief. Andre Weir out for the season. Chase Johnson out for the season. Isaiah Thompson, I think, has only played 7 games. Dakota Rivers is out. It's just one thing, guys. We got that virus that's running through the country. We were only practicing, for an hour, and there was, Shep Gardner's in practice, Kyle Griffin's in practice. It's just like we couldn't even have a practice. So to be able to keep showing up, to keep working hard, to have a good attitude, to trust and belief in our journey that, that we have enough to compete and to be successful. And I really saw a turnaround at Mercer. I thought we played good basketball at Mercer. We were up 9, and just, give Mercer credit and Coach Gary credit. They did a nice job of flipping that script and getting the win late there. But then, we could have easily, felt bad for ourselves, sorry for ourselves, and our guys didn't do that. And we got a hard fought win at Georgia Southern. So I felt like there was belief, there was trust, there was connectivity. And then after Christmas, the Florida Memorial game, that's a heck of an NAIA team, by the way. That team is huge. And I blame myself for this scheduling. What a terrible schedule. But after Christmas, we came back with a very professional approach. Like, we never talked about FAU being number 7. We never talked about, this could be the greatest upset. We never talked about anything like that. It was like, what do we need to do to get better? Let's just get better. Let's compete. This is what we're going to do defensively. This is what we're going to try to do offensively. And let's just go out there and play with amazing confidence. And, oh, by the way, it was our 4th home game. So it was nice to be at home for a week. I felt like we were on the road for 2 months. So again, take what we've learned, take the habits that we're creating, and try to bring that into the league. But we know, there's every team in the league right now thinks they can win the league, and that's how hard this league's going to be. Yeah,
definitely going to be tough. You mentioned being at home. Your first 2 conference games are going to be at home. How tough is it? Or is there any chance of, with a big game like that, any sort of hangover, you feel like the guys can just reset and get focused on conference play and start over with? It's kind of a clean slate. Like you said, everybody feels like they can win it, but you're on a 3-game winning streak. You guys have been playing good, like you mentioned, that the things have been coming together. So is there any challenges to keep that foot on the gas, so to speak?
Yeah, I agree with you. That's a really good point. I saw FAU played last night. And they came out with a win. But after a game like we played against them, you get worried because now we got all this media attention, all this social media attention, and guys get player of the week, newcomer of the week, and there's a lot of noise, a lot of distractions. And I'm just thankful we're not playing tonight. I felt like we needed one more day of practice, and we had a good practice today with a good film session. And I really think that benefited us playing on Thursday as opposed to Wednesday. So I think we'll be ready to go tomorrow to build off the win as opposed to feeling like we've accomplished something.
Gotcha. Well, Coach, I'm excited to see where FGCU goes. Congratulations on the win, getting through the non-conference season. Excited to see where you all are going in conference play. So good luck, and I hope to talk to you again soon.
Yeah, Happy New Year. Thanks for having me on. Take care.
You. We are back. ASUN Gameday, William Hall Kendrell Watkins. Coach Chambers, just before we jump in, we're gonna get to the power rankings, but he mentioned that the attention that they're getting right now, trying to, they had some struggles in non-conference play, but now the attention's on. When you're on the Gameday podcast, that's the biggest thing in the world. Everybody's watching at that point. That's an achievement. Player of the week, newcomer of the week, you beat number 7. Too much pressure? Or you think they just? In your mind, where does FGCU go? Are they just going? Is this what sets them off, and they just get back to where people thought they were going to be as one of the top 2 or 3 teams, or is the team we've been seeing kind of struggle? And again, they've been hit by injuries. You referred to it, Chase Johnson, Andre Weir. They've had, challenges within so obviously the team that we thought we were going to see when we were looking at things preseason in October is not who we saw throughout November and December. But do you think that this win they can carry that on and kind of run through the rest of the conference?
I mean, I was going to say I believe this sets them up for success for conference play. I definitely say that. And then you said that last thing that I was like, wait, hold on, slow down. Because you're like, yeah, they're just going to run through conference play, or does this set them up to just run through conference play? No. It's going to be a hard fought battle.
Well, and again, when I say run through, I don't mean run. I don't think anybody's going to run through, but for them, because again, preseason, they were number 2. So you would have thought that there were potentially 9 to 10 other teams that people felt like they would be better than. I wish we had the receipt. I'd love to pull up and see where Kendrell Watkins plays FGCU men's basketball in the preseason.
Oh, I mean, I know more than I know now. So
of course we know more. We seen him for 2 months, so yeah, we got a little bit more.
I knew more
insight.
I know more now than I knew then. Yeah. That's what I wanted to say.
That's fair. That was a prediction.
So my predictions are not my predictions.
Okay.
So I feel a little bit more comfortable, and again, things are going to switch around like those.
Well, since
you rankings.
Since you just laying it out there, let's hear the rankings in. Since you know more than you knew then, what January 3rd, what do you know? What are you feeling? We want to do men's or women's first? How you feeling?
We'll go with men.
We're already there.
We're here.
We're already there. So let's do some power rankings. Let's do top 6. Let's do top 6. Right, let's not do the whole field. I mean, eventually, when we get closer, we'll predict the 10 that are going to make the postseason. But now let's do your top half. You want to go?
Let's see. I'll start off because you're the man. So you know what I'm saying? Like anything because I just watch the games and then I go do and I make a graphic about it. So but you're actually in the weeds. So like you're in the bushes, like I have to know what's going on and all that other stuff. So and you interviewed all the coaches, like you have some insight.
I mean,
you have some insight. So
a little bit.
But, I'm just watching.
But but that's at the time when I talked to all the coaches, there were no games on the schedule. Now we've got 2 months, so you know more than I knew then. So what you got?
All right, well let's go top 6. One thing I will say is, all right, number 6, Austin Peay. I'm going with Austin Peay at number 6, just because. DeMarcus Sharp, balling. It's been balling all non-season play. All non-conference play. Right now, they're 4-3 during the month of December, 7-8 currently. And I just like the fact that DeMarcus is averaging 17-7. You got Jamonte Black. He's been lights out from behind the arc.
Oh, he's letting them fly.
Yeah, he's just letting them go, and they're going in.
Yeah.
So and plus, during the preseason, Coach Gibson, like his lone season at his previous stop, they balled out there. Brought a lot of his squad over. They're balling out here. So, and he's had success where he was. So I'm expecting him to bring it over to the Atlantic Sun. I'm expecting them to do a lot of damage. I know during the preseason polls, they were expected to finish 8th and 11th respectively. It's not going to be the case. I believe they're going to be higher than that. So as them coming in at number 6. All right, man, this is difficult. So,
I mean, it's the pressure. It's the pressure.
It's the pressure.
You jump in that seat and you want to lay out some power rankings. People are listening. They're watching. They're waiting for you to just, So where you at? Number 5. What we got?
Number 5, and I mean, we spoke about this, but I'm just going to get your reaction again. Kennesaw State.
At 5.
At 5.
Now, okay, so you want to give all your 6 and then I come with my 6 after, or you want me to give my 6 at the same time? Okay, it's fine.
Then you come with your 6. And then we're going to argue about it. We're
okay.
Somewhere in
all right.
I got Kennesaw State at number 5, and I'm gonna run through this because I want to give you time to get yours in. I got Kennesaw State at number 5 just because right now they're 9-5. They lost some heavy hitters. They're bringing in some heavy hitters that they're getting ready to work into the rotation. Simeon Cottle's been balling. I've been seeing him just doing the social media stuff. I've been seeing a lot of Simeon Cottle come up on the timeline, come up on the feed. He's been hitting a lot of shots. I'm actually I told Mackenzie, I'm going to tell my kids that that's Dame time because he's been balling out when he gets to the clutch. So that being said, Terrell Burden, he's doing what he's been doing, just picking up where he left off. And Damon Robinson, grown man, love his game, love how he plays. And then you have newcomers coming in or people stepping up. You got Quincy stepping up. They have another guy coming in, Jashawn Holt. I hope I said that right. Please, hope I said that correct. But him just coming in hasn't played but a handful of games, but already he's averaging 11 points a game. Came in, transferred from Georgia, Alabama. Also was a 5-star recruit. I believe that they're getting him in the rotation. There's going to be some questions to be answered, when it comes to Kennesaw State. But I feel like as of right now, because we were talking, I had them a star next to Kennesaw State because I believe at the end of the season, my current power ranking may be a little different. So I'm watching Kennesaw State. But as of right now, I have them at 5. Number 4, I have Stetson. And I have to go with Stetson at number 4 just because Jalen Blackman has been a bucket just all year. I know last year he was newcomer of the year, if I am correct. So he's not new anymore. He's just balling.
Oh, yeah. We're familiar
balling.
with his game, but they can't do nothing about it.
Averaging 24 a game right now. 24 a game. And when I say averaging 24 a game, dude is putting up 48, 46, 96 shooting splits. So he's shooting 48% from the field, 46% from 3, which is crazy. And then he's shooting 96 from the free throw line. So he's a bucket anywhere he goes. 3-level score, just a bucket, finishing at the rim, at the free throw line, and beyond the arc. So, and then you have Stephon Swinson. He's been just as far as dishing out the assists, he's been doing his thing for the last couple of years for the ASUN. So I've actually been watching his game. I'm a fan of his game. I love the way how he controls the team. So I'm a fan of them. Oglesby, Alvin. I'm a fan of Stetson. I told you that. 4. 3, I have FGCU.
Wow.
Because FGCU balled out, beat number 7. But they did play Florida Memorial and won in overtime, just a couple of days prior.
Hey, Florida Memorial is solid.
Florida Memorial is solid.
All right. Let's put that out there.
But, just reading
through some
reading through some of the news clippings, Coach, he was happy that they put together 40 minutes of basketball. I want to see them put 40 minutes of basketball together for a stretch of games. So, but I have them at number 3.
3 is wild.
No, 3 is wild. And I'm going to hear it. I know I'm going to hear it.
Because I'm looking at my top 6, and I'm wondering who got left out. Because they're not in mine. So that means that you got somebody.
Woo.
Yeah, so, yeah. All right. Those 2.
2, I have Lipscomb. And 2, I already told you everything that I told you about Lipscomb. I have Lipscomb at number 2 just because they've been balling. Their freshmen or their newcomers have been getting a lot of experience with Darren Boyd not playing the last couple of games, stepped up big in a big game, as well as when they played Arkansas. They lost by 3 to Arkansas, but they showed a lot of resolve because they were down double digits at one point in the game, battled back, and had a chance to win it at the end of the game. So I have a lot of faith in Lipscomb. Their offense works very well. So there's a lot of buckets in that offense. And yeah, that's my number 2 team right now, just because they've been balling without their preseason All-ASUN player and Darren Boyd, who's possibly going to be an All-ASUN player this year with the numbers he's been putting up. All right. And then number 1, I still have them. They were ranked number 1 in the preseason poll, both preseason polls. I can't go away from it right now just because the level of competition that they've been playing to start the year. And Isaiah Cozart has been balling. He's been just a problem in the middle. They're the preseason player of the year, or our preseason voted player of the year, is currently the third ranked, well, not the third ranked, but he's currently the third leading scorer on the team. They have depth. EKU. That's my number one.
Hey, now, overall, and that's fair. It's how you see it. I got to say, power rankings, to me, is what I'm looking. That's why it's going to be differences, because I'm looking at what I'm seeing right now. And, you know, to be fair, it's hard. It's interesting. You got a team that's lost 4 or 5 in a row as your number one team. It's interesting. It's interesting.
I mean, but it's going to look a little different when you're playing the number one team in the country in Purdue. You're playing Alabama. You're playing Troy. You're playing.
They should have won.
They should have won that. But you know that competition.
But no. They're not. I get it. They're not playing. They're not playing bad teams. They're not. And I think no matter what this is right now, I feel very strongly, and I've said this all through non-conference play, even with their, you know, how the numbers that they are putting up, rebounding and things like that. You need to make your shots, because that's not going anywhere. That's the type of thing that so far they're out rebounding teams in the nation. So you better make your shots, because are you going to go down there and get the rebound? Like, you know, that I think that balances things out. I think they'll be fine. They'll be fine. Number one, it's questionable now. I think they will be fine. I think they are one of the 3 best teams overall in our conference. But right now, I don't have them number 1.
Okay.
Right now, I have them number 6.
Okay. Woo.
Yeah.
But I'm saying you got to go back and look at this, because I'm gonna put a pin in this and say, man, you had them at number 6 at one point.
Right now, when they're 4-9, yeah, I have them. I'm fine with them being 6 when they're 4-9. And to be fair, FGCU's got 6 wins, possibly could be in there higher than them, but I got them where I had them. I think the numbers that they put up, they are strong. And again, this can change tomorrow. Because when they start playing in this conference way, it's going to change. It's going to change. But I got them at 6. 5, I have Austin Peay. Just how they're playing right now.
Write down this list.
Yeah, right. You got to keep a record. You got to have the receipts. We got to come back and pull them out. Right now, I got Austin Peay at 5. I think that they're like everything you said, I agree with. They're DeMarcus Sharp. I think that he's been newcomer of the week 3 times already this season. I think that's one of those things that when it comes to competition inside the league, when you look at the players who are putting in these numbers, who is going to be that person who shines only in, like, has that even happened where you got somebody that didn't become who they are until conference play? You know what I'm saying? Like, for the most part, if you're a bucket in non-conference, you're probably continuing to be a bucket. Things kind of average out.
Yeah.
So
you just don't stop being a bucket.
That's what I'm saying. and you can. Now, again, somebody comes in. I'm waiting on J.O. when that comes, you know, to hit the floor for Lipscomb in conference play. But what things like that is like, I think DeMarcus Sharp, the threes that they're shooting, that they're a solid team. Yeah. And right now, I got them at 5. 4, this is the team that was out of yours and just in mine, because I can't look past the 9 wins. And they're not supposed to be here in theory.
They're not supposed to be here.
I mean, if you would have seen, you go to the final, you don't make the postseason, and you're 9-5 Jacksonville Dolphins going into conference play. Hey, I respect it. You're my 4th ranked team in the power rankings, Jacksonville.
Oh, okay, I see.
Jacksonville's up there. Jacksonville's up there because again, I can't look by. They're handling business. You know, they're They aren't the champion, so they're not getting the eyes on them with a new head coach like KSU. They're not Lipscomb, who everybody was looking for to be good, or EKU, whose people are wondering why aren't they as good as we thought they were going to be. You're not the FGCU team that, you're doing good. Oh, you beat the number 17. That Jacksonville's just handling business. And Jacksonville that's the type of team that I feel like they've been under Coach Mincy. They're going to go to work.
Yeah. They bring their lunch pail.
Yeah.
They get at it.
Hard hats. They're going to work. So
and I had them at 7. So they just missed my list.
That's fair. I got them at 4. 3, team I just mentioned, Lipscomb. For all the reasons you've already laid out. That's a solid team. They're playing well. I think that Lipscomb is a good team. I think Lipscomb is overall in my top 3 of teams that I think just overall best teams we have on the men's side. Lipscomb is there. Number 2, another team that I feel similar to Jacksonville is just handling business, but you can't. It's not the same kind of handling business because you got the leading scorer in the conference dropping buckets for you. Stetson, number 2. Like you're handling business, but it's not as quiet as Jacksonville's handling business because we see you coming and you're that he's coming. Is he gonna drop 30 on me tonight? Like he's capable. He's capable.
He's definitely capable.
He's capable. And number 1, the team that I feel is playing the best right now, the team that has beat for the most part teams that they should beat. They've played fairly well against teams that you thought that they would be a challenge for them. It's Kennesaw State. That's my number 1 team right now. And again, this could clearly change. But that's where I am right now. KSU is my number 1. Coming into conference play, looking at non-conference season, laying everybody out. Just jump right into women.
Well, I was going to say, because
okay.
I was just going to say, like, I had to look at common opponents when I was doing some of this list, and there's probably some people I missed, just playing classic concentration. Like, I didn't see all the teams that they had played or they played in common, but I seen Kennesaw State and Lipscomb, how they fared against Florida State. So I had to take that into account. And I know there's a lot of stuff, and there's always a lot of tells. There's probably some things I'm missing. But I had to take that into account just because Lipscomb was able to pull off the win. And just looking at the game, like, it was 94-67.
Oh, so yeah, that Kennesaw State game wasn't. It wasn't. Yeah. And, to that point, did Lipscomb play UCF?
Did Lipscomb play UCF? I don't know. I don't think they did.
Yeah. Lipscomb played UCF.
They did? Okay.
Because while we're comparing, Stetson beat UCF.
Stetson did beat UCF.
That amazing Big 12 win,
But the only thing, the reason why I didn't say because Coach Donnie coached at UCF, so I was like, he knows where all the bodies are. I was like, I don't like that's like
this is Big 12 UCF we're talking about.
Well, I'm a South Florida alum. So I see UCF different.
A lot of people
always see UCF different.
No, trust me. Everybody sees UCF different.
Like those I-4 wars, like, yeah, whatever.
All right. That's fair. Okay. Women. I will
Go ahead, you start off.
I'm going to start off because I know that.
Correct me where I'm wrong.
Nah, because I don't. I'm aware. I'm not as in depth with it. It's conference play, so I'm probably gonna watch more of the women's game. This is just me seeing, and it's just a power ranking right now. Things are gonna change. 6, I've got Lipscomb. I started the year saying that Lipscomb and Austin Peay were going to be my toughest challengers to dethrone FGCU, so to speak. And I got Lipscomb at 6 and Austin Peay at 5. This is power ranking. So, hey, I mean, it's. I don't feel bad about it, I think that they've had solid non-conference seasons. Lipscomb 7-6, Austin Peay 7-7. So, hey, there's top six. They're right there. Now, here's where things might get, might catch a side eye. Number 4, Queens.
What you talking about, William? What you talking about?
It's something. Hey, I'm feeling Queens right now. I'm feeling Queens. It could change.
No, Queens has been balling.
But I'm feeling Queens.
4?
It's hey, if I did the math, they could be there by a 1/10 of a percentile. It might be. It could be close. It's not a runaway. I can tell you where the line is going to be drawn. The line is going to be drawn after I name number 3. In 2 and 1, there's a gap. That's where the gap is. Now, this 3, 4, 5, and 6 is pretty interchangeable because number 3, I got Central Arkansas, who is a surprise to be there.
He stole my thunder.
Hey, I'm gonna let you have it because you put me on. You put me on Central Arkansas earlier when we were talking. Hey, head coach. New head coach doing a great job.
Coach Kemper.
Yeah, like I said, I've been watching. I know what I know. I don't get deep as I am with the men's side of it. I had no idea Central Arkansas had been putting together what they've been putting together. So, like I said, kudos to the new staff out there getting and on the floor. They're getting it done. So when I look at things and it's like, looking at the body of work, okay. I'm feeling like they're 3-ish. Now, here's the line.
Looking 3-ish. I see you.
Here's the line, because like I said, that rest was interchangeable. These top 2 are interchangeable within themselves.
Okay.
Because I know this could go the other way. But my ranking right now is FGCU at 2.
Woohoo!
And EKU is 1.
Ooh. All right. Right.
Is it a lot to am I stepping too far out on the ledge? Nah. I'm good out here on this ledge. I don't even feel like I'm on a ledge.
Man.
I feel good about it.
This is the second time FGCU, like this year, this is the second time y'all had FGCU at number 2. Like,
I think that one.
We really feeling EKU.
I am, yeah.
Okay.
I am. Now, at that time, no. But now, yeah. And when I say feeling EKU, meaning I'm feeling like right now, if they played them, I think EKU could get them. Is what I'm saying right now. Like if that game was, and again, we're gonna find out really quick. It's upon us to see. I don't know the schedule. I can look and see when that game is gonna happen. By the time that game is on the schedule, we could be looking at, I don't know. It could look very different as far as what those teams look like in the standings. Like how exciting is the EKU FGCU game when it takes place? Looks like it's going to take place on February 3rd in Fort Myers. So we've got a month. That's, I don't know, roughly 8 or 9 conference games. So when we get to that game, we're going to know if this is, if it's a 8-0, 9-0, 2 undefeated teams, they could get there. And again, this gap is as tight as the gap I have between 3 through 6. Like it's not, I'm not looking at FGCU like, oh, this is clearly the year where they're going to get knocked off. I just think the EKU is in a much better position to be that team. But again, this is right now. I think they just, they've been a little bit more impressive. They got having 20 points a game. Like right now, it's power rankings. It's powerful. Where's FGCU's top scorer? Where are they at? Do they have one in the top 10? Top 5?
The top 5? No,
probably not.
Probably not.
But it doesn't matter. That's not their thing, But
they spread the ball around. Anybody can get it. Like I'll definitely go into it, but man, I could tell you based on your top. Like the thing is, like when it comes to top 6, like there's a couple of teams I'm watching. So my 6, I don't really know. Like I kind of have a tie. I don't want to say that that's a thing, but I don't know where to go between Kennesaw State, Queens, and even Bellarmine right now. So I don't know. And the reason why Bellarmine, because their top player, preseason defensive player of the year hasn't played. So, but they've been balling. They've been playing pretty well.
Mm-hmm.
Queens, I just want to see a bigger sample size. I want to see it in conference play before I hop on the bandwagon. Because you're driving the bus.
Oh, the Queens bus?
Yeah, you're driving the bus.
I'm in the bus. I'm feeling it right now. So you have Bellarmine 6, Queens 5, or what?
No. I haven't even I'm still at 6. Like I don't know where to go for 6.
Oh, I mean, you say because you also dropped Kennesaw State. So you got a little floating group at 6.
Yes, I don't know, and in Jacksonville, Coach Special, I really want to see what they do in conference play.
So you got 4 teams at 6.
Man, I have when it gets to that mid tier, there's a lot of teams. There's going to be a lot of interesting games this year.
But you've got 5 that are better than this group of this.
I do.
Okay, let's go to the group
as of right now.
Because I mean, you might as well just put UNA and Stetson in there and just stay everybody who's is floating around 6.
6 is for everybody.
I'm assuming that those people aren't in their top 5. That was very disrespectful of me to just assume that you didn't have Stetson at 2 and UNA at 3. I put a purple team at 3, so you could put a purple team at 3. I don't know.
5, I got a purple team.
Okay.
So we're going to go Central Arkansas.
All right, there we go.
Just because Central Arkansas, as you said, Coach Kemper, he's been doing the thing.
Mm-hmm.
This is his, second time at Central Arkansas. And when he was there before, he was doing the thing. So I know he just recently left Marshall, and he was doing the thing at Marshall. I know his last season there did well. And he's coming to Central Arkansas. Right now, they have 4 scorers averaging double figures. They're spreading the ball around, and
spreading the ball.
They're running. They're running, and right now, Ranger, you're right. Right now, 4th leading scorer. I know we picked her to be preseason All ASUN. That team's been balling. They have a lot of newcomers that have been balling. Team total new look, revamp. They were predicted to finish 10th and 11th. That's not going to happen in the preseason polls. I know we mentioned that. And right now, they're in the top half of the league as we have agreed upon, as of right now. So I believe that they're going to do well this year. I just want to see what they do in conference play before they move up and down, because they could be in that mid-tier. They could be a 6 with everybody else when it gets down to it.
You got a lot of 6s.
I got a lot of 6s. So, I just want to see how it happens. Number 4, I have Austin P. I have Austin P at number 4 just because they balled out last year. Shamari Hill, beast. Love watching her play. Gets buckets on the inside. Right now is averaging about 6 rebounds, 12 blocks. So she's sending them back. So she's been balling this year. They were finished to pick 4th, so I'm about right where they've been predicted to finish. Their last game they won against Miami of Ohio. I believe we already spoke on it. But again, they have some new people coming in. People have been balling. Anala Nelson has been balling. So that's my 4. And then this is where things get interesting. I have Lipscomb at number 3. And the start of the season, Lipscomb was my 2.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, the injury to Jalen Holcomb, that changes things a little bit, because Jalen Holcomb's a bucket. I believe she wore the 2-3, and she was a bucket. So I know, that's a lot to fill just going into this year and going to conference play. But with Aaliyah Sorrentino, with Bella Vinson, I really like their team. They have a tall team also. I really like that team. I expect more of that team. I honestly expect them to be a number 2, but they're top heavy.
Mm-hmm.
They run 5, 6, and then that's really where all their minutes are. So how do you feel? Because I feel like you have something that you want to say.
Nah, I mean, again, my 3 through 6 was not as fluid as your 6th place was, but so I could easily see that. I went Central Arkansas, and Queens up higher. You got Austin P and Lipscomb up there, but I mean, I think that to me, those teams right now, there's not much of a big separator to me. And so I'm not, and we clearly have the top 2. There seems to be still that line.
Yeah, there's still that line. And
so the question is, how disrespectful are you going to be to EKU?
And I just had to say it. Just even going back to Lipscomb, like they were predicted to finish 2, and I get where you're coming from. I see why you had them at 6, because just going through these wins against Tennessee Wesleyan, Johnson, ETSU, let me see here. This is a Division 2 or 3 team. Mississippi Valley State, TSU, Morehead State, Evansville. Like, it's not really moving the needle. So I see where you're going with that, but I'm just still looking at like the talent, everything there. You can only play who you play.
Right.
Going into conference play, I expect them to step up. So I really have a 3-man race.
And I needed them to complete the 3-peat against Kentucky for us.
Yeah, and that's one thing that let me down.
And they had it. I thought they had it.
I thought they were just good for a dub. Like,
yeah,
I was like, man, all right, Austin P. I was like, man, wait till you see FGCU.
Right.
And then FGCU, okay, that's what was supposed to happen.
Yeah, and now you got Lipscomb. Lipscomb about to get you. Yeah.
And then they didn't hold it up. So I was like, but things happen. We're in conference play now.
Yeah. This where this is it. So
number 2?
Who's 2?
EKU.
That's fair. Hey, that's fair.
And the reason why I have to go EKU, because it's like one of those things where when you see the truth, you can't deny it. And until somebody tells you otherwise, you have to go with what's always been. Like
that's what you think.
But that's no. See, this is where I have to get you on that, because I've been here longer.
But this is the power rankings of this team.
When I come here, I'm like, okay, this is what happens. I'm like, oh, FGCU, this might be the time. Not Lipscomb, but you have Liberty. Liberty's looking good. 30 final. They came back. They didn't learn something. 20 dub. Done. And then you get, and the thing and this is the thing, like, I still remember where they were, like, we had the preseason all ASUN, and they were like, okay, I can't even remember her name, but she came from another school, and that's why I was like, I have to watch their transfers, because I have to do my research, because they always have one. And I come from this because this was the time they picked someone, I forget her name, but she was all ASUN preseason. First game of the season, Tashara Morehouse dropping 20. I was like, okay, then he didn't tell us about that. Nobody told us about that. He's dropping 20. And then, or she's dropping 20. And then 3 games later, he drops the big joker.
Yeah, that's what gets you feeling.
He drops the big joker.
Yeah, we didn't know. Yeah, we didn't know about her. Like, it was, okay.
I was like, he dropped the little joker. He was like, wait,
you don't know what I got over here.
He dropped the big joker. And then I was like, and Kirsten Bell, and I was like, all right, never again. So I'm saying this right now, never again. Because I'm like, okay, we're looking up and down their team, and we had Uju. She was predicted, like, she's preseason all ASUN, and I was like, wait, because there's some cards that they're hiding over there. And then next thing you know, you have Dolly Cairns raining threes, just out there. Newcomer of the week, player of the week, just draining threes. So I'm like, okay, that's the one. Last week, Amani Jefferson. So I'm like, man, nah, I'm not even gonna. So that's FGCU why. Number 1.
That's why you okay.
EK, even though I've watched some games, and again, like I said, I love Sierra McCullough. I believe she brings something different that they possibly didn't have last year. Because last year when we were over in Ireland, I was like, okay, this team looks good, and I was like, this team looks good. But Sierra McCullough brings like this defensive identity, or just this Like she's averaging, I believe, like 8 rebounds right now. Like she brings this intensity that I believe is new over last year. So, and then I like the addition of Ivy Turner because I love Recanati's game. Like she's a baller. She dishes it. You know, I'm point guard at heart. I love the way they play. But Ivy Turner gives her a chance to move and actually get some shots up. As you can see with some of her weekly awards that she received earlier in the year. I'm like, okay, so this 20 that Antoinette Walker is going to give you, you know, sometimes she can be like, look, I don't need to give you 20. I don't need to give you 30.
Right. Yeah.
You know, because I'm getting help over here on the offensive side. So I was like, okay, but yeah, I just can't do it until there's a win. Otherwise, like, you know, you can write that in pen. FGCU number 1.
That's fair. Hey, FGCU is a solid number 1. I'm with you on that. I think Kennesaw State's a solid number 1. So on the men's side, speaking of that, I got a chance to also talk to Antoine Petway, first-year head coach at Kennesaw State men's basketball. They're excited about conference play. Non-conference was pretty good for them. Kennesaw State also a team that picked up 9 wins. So right now, I'm jump into that conversation I had with Coach Petway, and we'll be right back with our matchups to watch.
Hey.
ASUN Gameday Podcast, William Hall here with Antoine Petway, head coach of the Kennesaw State men's basketball team. Coach, Happy New Year. How you doing?
I'm great, man. How you doing? Happy New Year's to you as well. Doing well, man. Had a great holiday with my family and the kids, so it was pretty cool, man. So I'm looking forward to getting ASUN play kicked off on Saturday. Get some really good Queens team, man. So it's here. It's here.
It's here. We're excited for it. So 9 wins right now has you in a good spot heading into conference play. What has been the key to the early success in your first year with Kennesaw State?
Well, William, man, I'll be honest. I don't know what a lot of first-year head coaches had to deal with, but for me, I feel like I'm spoiled with the kind of locker room I got a chance to coach. I get a chance to coach, rather. The guys I got in there, man, are amazing. From Terrell Burton, Damon Robinson, Quincy, Simi, Jason Hope, Jamel King. I can go down the list. Ronji Gordon. Like, these guys are a joy to coach every day. So, like, they have made this transition so smooth for me, man. And then you couple that with my staff. You know, I got a great staff surrounding me, and then I'm just blessed to coach the kind of group of kids that I get to coach every single day. And I think that's been a major reason why we've had success in the non-conference.
Mm-hmm. Now, you mentioned a name that I definitely want to talk to you about. For just tell me about the play of Simeon Cottle. I think he's kind of jumped onto the scene, leading Kennesaw State in scoring, 5th in the conference in scoring. Just what has he done has been just made him so impactful on the floor.
Well, he's an everyday dude. Like he brings it every single day. You know exactly what you're getting out of Simeon Carter. He's gonna bring great energy. He's gonna compete on the defensive end, and he's wired to score. But going into the season, I told him he's gonna have a really increased role for the way we wanted to play, and he's bought into that, man. Every single day he brings it, and I think the sky's the limit for Simeon Carter. He's only a sophomore, so he's gonna keep getting better and better. And we give him much. I told him I'm gonna keep giving you as much as you can handle. And that kid does a phenomenal job, man. Like he pays attention to scouting report. He pays attention to all the details that we go over when we doing the scouting reports, when we practicing. And man, you see him just reaping the benefit. The main thing I want to say about him too, and I hadn't mentioned, he's a workaholic. He's a workhorse, man. Like this dude, he's a gym rat. He's in the gym all the time. And so I tell my guys, like, I want them to play with a lot of confidence, and I'm gonna give them a lot of freedom. And the things you work on when you with me and when you're away from me, I'm gonna allow you to use that in the game. And that's what I've been doing. Like Simeon lives in the gym. A lot of our guys, that's one of the things I really, really wanted with my program, man. Like a culture of hard work. I wanted to have a culture of hard work, doing practice, but away from practice as well. And he's been one of the main guys to buy into that. And his game's taken off because of it, I think.
So it's been a couple months since we talked. We talked back in October at Media Day. And I asked you then if there was one word that people would say about this Kennesaw State team. And the word you gave me was courageous. And I know I said we would talk if this was after the season. But we're halfway through. Good start to the season. So I'm going to ask you now, where do you feel, how do you feel you're doing to keep that moniker on, that courageousness of this Kennesaw State Owls?
That's absolutely what we talk about before every game too. It's crazy. I use that word because I tell them I want them to be confident and courageous. Have enough confidence to take the shot, but then also have enough courage that if I miss it, I'm gonna take it again if it's the right shot to take. And so I think courageous is that identifies who we are. We gonna keep going. We gonna trust in the process, and we're gonna have courage because I always wanted a place at Kennesaw State with my program. I wanted a place where kids are not afraid to fail. And when you fail, you gotta have courage to get back up and do it again. And so that's why I use courageous, man. And that's what I got. I got a team full of dudes with high character and they have courage. Like we miss a shot, best believe we get that same look again and it's open. We take it again. And I'm over there saying take it again. So you gotta have courage and belief to do that. So that word fits us to a T.
Yeah. So you alluded to the early conference play about to start. You got 3 straight at home to start conference play. Like you said, you got a tough Queens team who always played Kennesaw State tough last year. Actually got a win and snapped a long streak there in the convo. You got Stetson coming in, so you got to find a way to slow down Jalen Blackman, who's a beast.
Balling, man. I didn't know about him until I got in the league. Now I'm looking. Every time I see Stetson scores, I'm looking for him, man. He is a baller, man. This league is really good. You got some great coaches, but you got some really good players as well.
Mm-hmm. And then on the back end of that 3-game stretch, FGCU probably had one of the biggest wins in the country this past weekend. What is it going to take for you all to stay focused and keep that winning streak at home and to come out of those first 3 games 3-0 in league play?
We're going to take it one game at a time. And I always tell our guys we have to be us. We got to defend at a high level. We got to be disruptive on the defensive end. And then we got to play at our pace and at our tempo. But be us. One game at a time. We need to go 1-0 after every game. And that's going to be my talk to the team. That's going to be our game plan. Every single game, we take it on one at a time. And, giving it our all and being Kennesaw State men's basketball. If we are us, that's pretty good enough, man. But that's our mentality, man. And listen, we coming. We every night. We got to be the hardest playing team and the hardest competing team. Like, that's just who we are. We come on the floor. I want everybody to know when we come on the floor, they know we're gonna compete. And that's kind of what I want this program to be known for going forward.
Yeah, love it. Love to see it. It's been exciting watching you all start this season. Congratulations on the great start to the season. Good luck heading into conference play. I'm excited to see what Kennesaw State does. So thank you, Coach, for a couple minutes of your time.
Anytime with you, man. Don't hesitate. Anytime you need me, I would love to jump on with you.
Oh, all absolutely. Right? We'll do this again. Again.
Right. My man. Appreciate you.
Thank you. We are back. Always good to talk to Coach Petway, Kennesaw State, getting ready to defend home court. So now we're going to jump into our matchups to watch. And I'm gonna be honest with you, it's kind of cheap this week. It's not even good because it's the 2 matchups on the men's and women's side. It's the same day and it's the same 2 programs. On the women's side, we got EKU at Lipscomb, and on the men's side, we got Lipscomb at EKU. I think we kind of have talked about it on the women's side of things. EKU is, we agree, one of the top 2 teams right now. Lipscomb is 3rd on your list. I had them a little lower, but preseason, Lipscomb was one of my teams to challenge FGCU. So I think this is a good test to see where they are. Like, EKU, 11 wins. They're looking like that team. But I think last year around this time is when they started to kind of come back. They came back down a little bit, and I think I'm wanting to see what they do in conference play this year. I think this is a better team than they had last year. And Lipscomb was solid in conference play last year too. I just think we're getting spoiled out of the gate with 2 top teams playing first game of conference play. And it's also that game where you can kind of see, I guess kind of get it out of the way. Unfortunately, it's one of those games where you may be like, yeah, that game against Lipscomb is coming back to hurt them or vice versa. If whoever loses this, you might need that one, and it might come down to one of those games where you figure you're going to be at the top. Do you have a bye? Are you having to play, earlier than in that type of thing, going on the road or whatnot? So, as far as the EKU Lipscomb from the women's side, if you had to lean, which way would you lean?
Man, like right now, just based on my power ranking,
you got them at 2 and 3, so yours is closer than mine.
I have them at 2 and 3, and just right now, I don't know. Like that's gonna very much dictate my power ranking next week. So you already know who's number 2 and who's number 3 based on that particular win, unless somebody really gets off in my sixes. Somebody gets off in my sixes. I don't know. Maybe we'll have a new addition. But as of right now, I'm gonna have to lean with who do I have number 2? EKU. So I'm gonna go with EKU on the women's side. If Lipscomb wins, I won't be surprised. Because to start the season, they were my number 2.
Right. Yeah.
So I am very much, and this is honestly, I believe this is going to be the norm all season. I believe that Atlantic Sun basketball is going to be it's going to be very much like must see every week, because there's a lot of teams that are vying for supremacy. There's a lot of teams that are really good this year. And I believe that this week 1 conference play is a testament to that.
Well, yeah. I mean, because you're coming out the gate with, like I said, EKU Lipscomb. On the women's side, I think it's tough to go. I think I probably would lean EKU 4-2 on the road. Lipscomb's 3-2 at home. So it's not really that. I mean, and if it was reversed, if the women were at home, they're 6-0 at home. I probably would have been really like, okay, but then it'd been more interesting. Can they keep that home winning streak going? This one, I think, is going to be more of a toss-up, but it's interesting to see. And again, if you take that matchup, which is happening on the other side, Lipscomb at EKU, we got a team who's been on the men's, a Lipscomb team who is coming off the Florida State win, has been strong through non-conference the whole way. 9 wins, we talked about it already. You've got EKU has struggled for the record-wise. I think, again, they're still putting up the numbers, rebounding. They're still who they've got. Like you laid out their top player, who we thought is our preseason player of the year, third high score. So they've got the weapons. They've got Blanton. They've got Colin Cooper. They've got
Michael Marino.
Parking lot. Yeah, yes. They've got Walker. They've got Kozar. That team, they brought the same team back.
And I didn't even mention Leland Walker. That's the crazy thing, because when I Fire from he's nice.
I think this is clearly. Again, I'm a little bit deeper on the men's side than I am on the women's side, but absolutely, this is game of the week on men's basketball.
Yes,
this is the game out of even on the games that are happening on Saturday. I think looking, we got Kennesaw State playing Queens. That's always this Queens team has played Kennesaw State tough, but I think if you're just looking across the board, in my opinion, just taking a look at some of the games on the men's side, Jacksonville FGCU. That's a FGCU team coming off that win. You got Jacksonville, who's just been getting things done. UNF and Stetson, but I think Austin P and Bellarmine. These are all the games that are happening tomorrow or later on today. But Lipscomb EKU, just I think we're coming out of the gate with is EKU potentially who we thought they were going to be, and we can kind of see, because I think if they come out and win this game, depending on how they win this game, I think it's much easier to. I mean, you can forget all the non-conference stuff anyway, because it doesn't matter what you did in non-conference. You could have lost every non-conference game. You go undefeated in conference play, you're the number 1 seed, regular season champion, blah, blah, blah. You're not talking about it. But I think that it's easier, even with the struggles that they had. They come out there and, win this game handily. You kind of just move forward and be like, okay, like you have EKU at number 1. They look like the number 1 team in somebody's power rankings again.
Mm-hmm.
Lipscomb comes into Richmond and leaves out there with a dub. Changes a little bit.
Yeah, and I believe that because, again, like you said, this is our game of the week, most definitely. So I'm very much excited to watch both of these games on both the women and the men's side. So I will be there, front row seat. Well, not there, but, front row ESPN Plus. And with that being said, I believe that EKU, like, you had them ranked number 6 again, and you had them ranked that low just because of just how their season has gone so far. Well, they have to wake up in your eyes because just this first week of the season, they're playing Lipscomb, and then 2 days later, they play Austin P.
Yeah.
At home. So that's a tough.
Yeah, they have to wake. They got to wake up quicker. You're gonna be 0-2 against 2 teams that I feel like are gonna be in the mix. So you don't want to have losses against those are the better teams. You want to try to get some from those teams because I think those teams are gonna be to be good. I mean, I think both of us are kind of on the same boat with definitely Lipscomb and Austin P as well. So yeah, EKU's they're not getting it easy. And to be fair, I don't know if there's an quote unquote easy game for anybody across the board this year.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think that because you look at, going back to the women's side, if you were to say, UNA in the standings at the bottom, but Alexis Callens?
Yeah. Alexis Callens balling.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't want to, you just can't look at that and be like, yeah, that's just UNA. No. And to be fair, for Central Arkansas,
I'm excited for that game. I'm happy you actually brought that up because they I love the way Missy Tiber. I love the way their team is played. Like they, soon as that ball goes up in the air, they're running.
Yeah. And
Central Arkansas, they're running. So I'm very excited for that game because I think that's going to be a really good game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I mean, just we picked a matchup that is probably, a highlight, especially on the men's side. That's the game of the week. But I think it's here. It's conference play. Every game matters. Atlantic Sun basketball, men's and women's, like you said, must-see TV. So I'm going to be locked in. You should be locked in. I know you're going to be locked in. You front row seat.
Front row seat.
So we can't wait. It's finally here. We've been waiting 2 months for this. It seems like longer than that. Since last March, but finally back to conference play. ASUN Gameday Podcast, William Hall Kendrell Watkins.
Can I do it?
Go ahead.
Peace.